Final warning. God sends this message for the third time. The truth revealed. Today, you are about to hear something that has been sent for you not once, not twice, but 3 times. This is not a coincidence, and it is not a coincidence that you are reading or listening to these words right now. The universe has conspired to bring this message to your awareness, because the time for ignoring it has passed. There are patterns around you that cannot be denied, signs that appear in ways that seem random, but are anything but. Life as you know it is shifting, changing in ways that demand attention. This is not a story. This is not speculation. This is a direct warning, a clear call to awaken, and a message meant to reach your very consciousness. Everything you have believed to be certain will now be tested. Everything you have taken for granted is being questioned, and the world as you know it is standing at a crossroads. The truth that comes in this message is not simple. It is not easy, but it is real. And it is meant for those who are willing to see, who are willing to open their hearts, and who are willing to act. Before we go deeper, I want to ask you to stay with this video until the very end. Take a moment to prepare yourself, because what comes next is designed to shift your perception. In this chapter, we explore the power of your wishes, the energy they carry, and how they can influence the universe in ways that most people never understand. I invite you now, if you feel the pull, to write in the comments your warmest wishes and the number 66. These are not mere numbers or idle thoughts. They are keys, catalysts that activate unseen forces around you, aligning energy and consciousness in ways that amplify intentions. Every wish you send with sincerity, every moment you dedicate to imagining the best possible reality for yourself and others, contributes to the invisible currents of change. This is not superstition. It is a principle of energy, attention, and focus, a principle that has been recognized in every era, in every culture, under every sky. By acknowledging it, by engaging with it deliberately, you participate in a process that transforms small intentions into powerful manifestations. It is simple, yet profound, and it works in ways that cannot always be predicted, because the universe has a rhythm, and those who understand it can align themselves with it. So, take a breath, believe in the power of your intention, and understand that this act of writing, of expressing, is part of a larger truth that is now being revealed. Chosen one, your destiny awaits. Like this video, subscribe and walk with us into the light. Now, beyond the wishes, the real message must be understood. The world is not as it seems. Systems that appear solid and unchangeable are, in fact, fragile, manipulated by forces that operate in the shadows, beyond the view of ordinary perception. This warning has come 3 times, because those who are not alert, those who are distracted by routine, will continue to ignore the signals until it is too late. Time itself is accelerating, and with it, the consequences of inaction. Every moment that passes without awareness compounds into outcomes that are irreversible. The patterns of control are subtle, yet unmistakable. They manifest in politics, in technology, in social structures, in the very way that information flows and is filtered. Many are distracted by trivialities, by debates that serve only to divide, to obscure the larger truth. Meanwhile, those who observe quietly, who pay attention to the signals, find themselves at an advantage, aware of shifts before they happen, attuned to the currents of change that guide both collective and individual destiny. This is not a tale of fear, but a call to discernment. The warning is urgent because the consequences are real. Yet the path to understanding, to safety, to alignment, is always available to those who listen. Every sound, every coincidence, every number or repeated sign is a thread leading to comprehension. Recognize them, and you will find a map where others see only chaos. Those who ignore these signs are blind to their own potential, while those who perceive them awaken to the hidden structures that shape reality. Humanity has always been tested, in cycles, in moments of crisis, in turning points that require courage and awareness. This is one of those moments. The third message is not a repetition. It is a crescendo, a final opportunity to heed what is being delivered. The forces at work are not malevolent in the way fear would suggest, nor benevolent in the way comfort would soothe. They are fundamental, indifferent, inevitable, and their influence is woven into the very fabric of existence. Understanding this, seeing it for what it is, provides clarity. One must not look for villains or heroes in the traditional sense. One must look for patterns, for consistencies, for the truth that persists regardless of narrative. To be aware is to be empowered, and to ignore is to be swept along. This is why the message has returned for the third time, to pierce through distraction, to break through apathy, and to awaken those who can still change the trajectory of their lives and the world around them. You may feel resistance, doubt, confusion. These are natural, and they are expected. The mind will try to rationalize away the inexplicable, to comfort itself with conventional logic. But what is logic if the foundation upon which it is built is shifting? What is certainty if the ground beneath your feet is not what it once was? The third warning is designed to challenge these illusions, to push past the habitual ways of seeing, to demand that you engage with reality as it is, not as you wish it to be. The subtle currents of influence, the invisible forces shaping events and lives, are always present. Only by acknowledging them, only by learning to recognize their signs and responding intentionally, can one navigate safely through the turbulence that is coming. This message is not limited to a single domain of life. It touches on the spiritual, the practical, the societal, and the personal. There are shifts in consciousness, in energy, in global patterns that cannot be ignored. What you thought was stable is dissolving. What you thought was permanent is being rewritten. And in the midst of this, you are given a choice: to remain unaware or to awaken, to participate, to align. The third warning is your mirror, reflecting not what you fear, but what you have ignored. The truth revealed is not always comforting, but it is empowering. It grants the possibility of clarity, foresight, and action. To act in alignment with it is to step into a reality where consequences are understood, where intention matters, where the future is shaped consciously rather than drifted into passively. Awareness, once cultivated, becomes a shield and a tool. It allows you to see patterns in history repeating, to detect manipulations before they take hold, and to prepare for what is coming in a way that those asleep cannot. But awareness requires discipline, observation, and reflection. It requires that you quiet the distractions, that you learn to perceive beyond the surface, that you attune yourself to subtler currents of influence. These currents are everywhere, flowing through media, politics, relationships, and internal thought patterns. They operate invisibly, yet they govern outcomes more profoundly than many dare to consider. To navigate them successfully is to step out of the ordinary, into the extraordinary capacity of conscious action. Even as you watch this, the universe is responding to every thought, every emotion, every intent you release. Nothing is static, nothing is fixed. The third message is not just an abstract warning, it is a call to actively engage with the reality that surrounds you. The more aware you are, the more aligned your actions, the greater your ability to influence both your personal life and the collective experience of those around you. To ignore it is to risk being carried by forces beyond your control. To heed it is to learn to flow with those forces, to ride them with awareness rather than being submerged beneath them. You may wonder why it took 3 messages. The answer is simple. Persistence is the mark of importance. If something matters enough to return, if something calls repeatedly, it is not trivial. The third warning is the threshold. The previous messages were nudges. This is a call to action. This is a challenge to awaken, to observe, to reflect, and to act. Do not underestimate it. Do not rationalize it away. The truth revealed is simple. Life is changing in ways you cannot ignore, and your response will determine your path. It is easy to feel small, powerless, or confused in the face of such enormity. That is why many will choose to ignore this message, to pretend it is not urgent, to fall back into the comfort of distraction. But the choice you make now will define the way forward. This is why persistence matters, why awareness matters, why the third message arrives now, insisting that you no longer delay. Listen closely. Observe everything. Note patterns. Align with the truths that are evident to those who pay attention. There is wisdom in recognition, power in alignment, and consequence in neglect. The implications of this warning extend beyond what is immediately visible. Those who remain alert will recognize opportunities, avoid pitfalls, and act in ways that feel guided rather than random. Those who ignore it will drift, buffeted by forces they do not perceive. The difference is awareness. Awareness is the ultimate power in this world, and those who cultivate it will find themselves able to navigate uncertainty with clarity, purpose, and efficacy. The universe responds to clarity of perception, to intention informed by truth, and to action grounded in observation. These are not abstract concepts. They are practical tools for survival and transformation. The third warning is, in essence, an invitation. It invites you to awaken, to perceive beyond the ordinary, to understand the structures of reality, and to participate in the shaping of your own existence. It is an act of grace delivered not once, not twice, but 3 times. Those who recognize it are granted insight. Those who ignore it risk remaining trapped in cycles of confusion and consequence. The choice is yours, but know this: persistence of message equals urgency of truth. The third arrival is your confirmation, your signal, your final opportunity to act consciously before circumstances shift irreversibly. As you absorb the weight of this third warning, it becomes impossible to ignore the patterns forming all around you. Every event, every sudden shift in your environment is a ripple in a larger current of forces at play. This is not random chaos. It is structure, subtle and deliberate, often invisible to those who do not look closely. The universe operates with precision, and it responds to the cumulative energy of thought, emotion, and action. Every human being contributes to these currents, knowingly or unknowingly, and those currents converge to shape outcomes on both the personal and collective scale. Recognizing this is the first step toward mastery of your own reality. Awareness of the unseen structures does not come naturally to most, because society conditions you to focus only on the superficial, the measurable, the socially validated. Yet the deeper truth lies beneath, in layers that must be felt, observed, and interpreted. Those who see this are no longer passive. They are participants, navigators of a complex, interwoven system of energies and consequences. Time itself is a factor in these currents. It does not flow uniformly, nor is it as predictable as clocks and calendars suggest. You may notice how certain moments seem to accelerate, how decisions that once took weeks are now made in an instant, and how events that seemed distant arrive without warning. This is a manifestation of the alignment, or misalignment, of energies that govern the world. Being aware of these temporal shifts is essential because they provide guidance, signals, and opportunities. Those who are tuned into them can act decisively, altering trajectories before they become irreversible. This is why the third message is so critical. It alerts you not only to what is, but to what is emerging. Each warning you have received builds upon the last, increasing your capacity to perceive the flow of change and to respond accordingly. It is not enough to passively notice these things. Action is required. Action does not always mean grand gestures or visible displays. Often it is subtle, internal, and precise. It is the calibration of your attention, the conscious choice to align with truth, and the disciplined cultivation of clarity. Every thought, every moment of attention shapes reality more than most understand. To be awake is to see the intersections between cause and effect, between intention and outcome. It is to recognize that what you tolerate, ignore, or participate in actively contributes to the unfolding pattern of the world. The third warning is a call to exercise this awareness, to embrace the responsibility inherent in being conscious, and to act with discernment rather than ignorance. The forces that surround you are neither inherently good nor bad. They are forces. They operate according to principles, patterns, and laws that exist beyond human judgment. The challenge is to recognize these forces for what they are, to understand their direction, and to work with them rather than against them. Those who act blindly are often swept away, but those who perceive the underlying logic, the invisible structure of events, can navigate with precision and safety. This requires a dedication to observation, to studying not just what is visible, but what is implied. Hidden motives, unseen influences, and subtle manipulations are all part of the terrain. Awareness of these elements allows you to make informed choices, to anticipate outcomes, and to remain in alignment with the flow rather than being trapped within its turbulence. Consider the nature of truth itself. Truth is rarely simple. It is layered, complex, and often uncomfortable. Many prefer comforting lies to inconvenient realities, which is why the third warning is necessary. It bypasses comfort and confronts you with what must be known. The more willing you are to accept what is, without distortion or denial, the more effective your responses will be. To ignore this is to invite confusion, frustration, and a sense of helplessness, because the patterns will continue to operate whether you acknowledge them or not. Understanding truth is empowering, and recognizing it early provides both leverage and protection. You are not powerless. You are capable, perceptive, and equipped to navigate these challenges, but only if you take the effort to perceive clearly and act intentionally. The third warning also emphasizes timing. Certain shifts are happening now that have consequences far beyond what is immediately apparent. These are moments of convergence, when multiple threads of energy, decision, and circumstance intersect. Being aware of these convergences allows you to influence outcomes in ways that appear miraculous to the unobservant. Every pattern you notice, every anomaly you perceive, is a signal. Ignoring these signals is a choice with a cost. Recognizing them is a choice with potential rewards that ripple outward. This is the essence of the message. Awareness, attention, and discernment are your tools. They are not abstract concepts. They are practical instruments for navigating a world in flux. You may notice that the world seems increasingly chaotic. That is a reflection of the deeper currents accelerating, shifting, and converging. Systems that appear stable are revealing their fragility. Institutions are showing cracks, and information is being filtered in ways that obscure the truth. Yet within this apparent chaos, there is order for those who can perceive it. Patterns exist, and they can be discerned with patience, focus, and attentiveness. Those who develop this capacity find themselves able to move with confidence through uncertainty, while those who remain asleep are buffeted, confused, and reactive. The third warning is a bridge for those ready to awaken, a map for those willing to navigate the complexity rather than be consumed by it. It is critical to understand that awakening is not a single event. It is a process. The third message is a milestone, not a destination. Awareness grows gradually through observation, reflection, and consistent alignment with truth. You may feel overwhelmed at first, but this is normal. The mind resists what it cannot immediately comprehend, and the ego often attempts to dismiss the uncomfortable. This is why persistence matters. This is why the message returns. It is designed to pierce through resistance, to insist upon recognition, and to encourage the development of discernment. Each repetition of the message strengthens your capacity to see, to understand, and to act. As you continue to engage with this warning, notice the subtle shifts in your perception. Things you once ignored now appear significant. Events that seemed random now align with patterns you can recognize. Connections between people, circumstances, and opportunities become clearer. This is not coincidence. It is the natural result of heightened awareness interacting with the fabric of reality. Those who cultivate this perception gain clarity, insight, and the ability to influence outcomes that would otherwise remain beyond reach. The third warning is not merely information. It is a call to develop this skill, to refine your capacity to perceive truth, and to act with precision in a world that is often deceptive and obscured. Awareness also brings responsibility. To see is to understand that your actions, choices, and attention have consequences that extend far beyond your immediate surroundings. The third warning reminds you that ignorance is no longer an excuse. Every decision matters, and every failure to observe contributes to outcomes you may later regret. The key is not perfection. It is deliberate, conscious engagement. By acknowledging the reality of the forces at work and choosing to navigate consciously, you transform potential chaos into opportunity. This is empowerment in its most practical form. There will be challenges. Resistance will arise from both external forces and internal doubts. You will encounter obstacles designed to test your persistence, patience, and clarity. Yet these tests are not punishments. They are opportunities. Each difficulty presents a chance to refine your awareness, strengthen your discernment, and reinforce your alignment with truth. The third warning is your guide through these tests, a reminder that clarity and intentionality are your allies. Success is not measured by comfort or convenience, but by the ability to act consciously, decisively, and in harmony with the currents of reality. In the coming moments, you will continue to notice signs, small, subtle, and sometimes almost imperceptible. These are the threads of guidance that the third warning has been pointing toward. Recognize them. Observe them. Act upon them with intention. Your life, your awareness, and your ability to navigate complexity all depend upon your willingness to engage fully with these signals. Every message, every repeated pattern, every anomaly is an invitation to deepen your understanding and to expand your capacity to act effectively in a world that is in constant flux. As the third warning unfolds, it becomes increasingly clear that the world you have been accustomed to is layered with complexities invisible to the casual observer. These are layers of influence, energy, and decision-making that operate beneath the surface, shaping outcomes in ways that few notice. This is why so many remain unaware, drifting along as though events are random, when in reality every occurrence is interconnected. The forces at play are subtle yet powerful, weaving together human thought, action, and the fundamental energies of the universe into a tapestry that is constantly evolving. Those who fail to recognize these patterns often mistake coincidence for inevitability. But for those who awaken, every sign, every anomaly, every repetition becomes a message, a clue, a tool for navigating what is coming. The third warning emphasizes discernment. To discern is not merely to observe, it is to interpret, to recognize significance, and to act in accordance with understanding. Life presents countless distractions, illusions designed to divert attention away from what truly matters. Media, politics, social influence, and even relationships can operate as veils, masking the underlying forces shaping reality. Awareness requires the ability to pierce these veils, to see what is behind them, and to understand how hidden structures influence both individual and collective outcomes. This is not a matter of paranoia or fear. It is a matter of clarity, precision, and strategic perception. To act without discernment is to be carried along by currents you cannot control. To act with it is to navigate with purpose, insight, and power. History provides countless examples of how unseen forces guide outcomes. Patterns repeat, yet few recognize them because observation requires attention, reflection, and courage. Those who are awake notice the cycles, the rise and fall of institutions, the sudden shifts in social dynamics, the emergence of events that appear improbable but are in fact inevitable when underlying patterns are understood. The third warning asks you to cultivate this historical awareness, not to predict the future with certainty, but to recognize the principles and structures that govern change. When you understand these principles, you gain the ability to anticipate, to respond, and to participate consciously rather than be swept along passively. This awareness also extends inward. The mind and the heart are instruments for perceiving the invisible currents that shape reality. Emotional reactions, habitual thinking, and unexamined beliefs all color perception and can obscure truth. By cultivating self-awareness, by observing not just the world but your own internal responses, you gain access to a deeper understanding of the forces that influence both your life and the lives of those around you. The third warning is not just external, it is internal. It calls for a comprehensive awakening, one that aligns perception, intention, and action. Only through this alignment can you act with clarity and effectiveness in the complex currents of reality. The role of energy cannot be overstated. Everything in existence is vibration, movement, and force. Human attention and intention are not passive. They interact with these energies, amplifying or disrupting them. The third warning emphasizes that your focus, your choices, and your understanding matter. Even seemingly small decisions contribute to the larger energetic landscape. Awareness is the first step, but deliberate action is the next. You are not helpless. You are an active participant in the shaping of outcomes. Every decision, every perception, every moment of presence is an instrument through which influence is exerted. Those who understand this are empowered. Those who ignore it remain subject to forces they do not perceive. It is also essential to recognize that the third warning is both a personal and collective message. Individual awareness contributes to collective consciousness, and shifts in consciousness ripple outward, affecting systems, communities, and environments. What you observe and understand individually does not remain confined. It interacts with the larger network of thought and action. The alignment of awareness among many produces change on scales that seem improbable to the uninformed observer. This is why repeated warnings matter. They are opportunities to awaken, to expand perception, and to participate consciously in shaping outcomes that benefit not only the self but the broader world. As this awareness deepens, it becomes clear that each individual choice carries weight far beyond what is immediately visible. By cultivating clarity, intention, and conscious action, you not only navigate your own path with precision, but also contribute to the evolution of the collective. The ripples of awareness spread quietly yet persistently, influencing those around you, inspiring shifts in thought, and creating openings for transformation that would otherwise remain unseen. The third warning is, therefore, not merely a caution. It is an invitation to step fully into responsibility, to recognize the power inherent in your presence, and to act in harmony with the unfolding patterns of life. In embracing this call, you participate in a process that transcends the personal, touching the broader world, and shaping a future aligned with truth, insight, and conscious intention.